Groundfloor is an online community of private lenders that fund real estate deals. So we've organized people online who $10 at a time can combine together and fund these loans. People have made an average of 12% annual interest. So the other way to do it is to have millions of dollars in the bank that you can put to work in real estate loans. That's what happens. There's an industry called private lending. These are wealthy people, and they get to loan out their money at 15, 18, 20%, while the rest of us are making for less than 1% on our money, or we're putting it at risk in the stock market. These guys are making very savvy loans. For a lot of people, it's the fact that 98% of Americans have never had access to do this. But the internet makes it possible, right? It opens it up to everyone. And, securities laws are changing, and we're using existing securities laws to do it ahead of when that change comes. Most people tend to put in, a few $100s or $1,000 first. And we encourage people to invest in a few projects. You get a feeling for what it's like, and you have some diversification. Our customer, our borrower, has bought a property in foreclosure, or they bought it through a short sale, they made an investment, and they're going to renovate it, and they're borrowing the money from our lenders to renovate it. And that's why they pay it back in 6 to 12 months. They're going to fix it and flip it, and then get their money back and pay everyone back, and away we go. That is a lot easier than explaining that for the upteenth time. So thank you to my marketing team for making a little bit of a video, which is making the rounds online. And they keep having to update that last slide. You may notice an Atlanta Tech Village sticker on the back of my laptop. That's because when we first moved to Atlanta, this was our home. This was our home for about 6 or 8 months when we first got off the boat, not literally. We drove down here from Raleigh, rented an Airbnb in Morningside Heights, and went to work. We used the Invest Georgia exemption to essentially manufacture a financial product. In the same way that an investment bank would, except different from an investment bank, we're here selling it to thousands of retail investors. We, in Georgia, sold about close to about $3 million worth of the product in the 18 months while we were piloting it. We were patiently working with the SEC in about 9 states in parallel to qualify. We were actually we're the first company actually to be allowed to sell this type of highly fractionalized direct private lending product in real estate in history. We're only the third company that was allowed by the SEC to sell any type of product like this. And the other two were Lending Clever Prosper and consumer debt about 6 or 7 years ago. So it was a seminal achievement in the regulatory sphere to get this done using Regulation A+, Reg A+. What was harder was figuring out, once you got through that barrier, what would ordinary people actually do with it? How would ordinary people engage with an unknown brand to buy an unknown product in an absolutely unknown and ridiculous sounding category? I'm going to show you the result of about 2 years of innovation on that bleeding edge, and we have a bunch of product that we're really excited to release because after being qualified by the SEC, we were able to raise a $5 million Series A round of venture capital last November. We've been putting that money to work, and we're getting ready at the end of this year to unveil a lot of what we found. Now, as luck would have it, we have a hard time keeping this product on the shelf, and we had one loan left as I left our office down in Midtown to come up here, and I thought, great, I'm actually going to get to invest in one live in front of all of you, and my heart sank as I sat in the conference room back there and I watched it dwindle. So we don't actually have any loans for sale today. We will have loans for sale soon. So I'm going to show you what I did at my desk a little bit earlier today to make an investment, just so that you get a sense of what it looks like. Now, this is a project summary page. We do the same format every time for these pages. It summarizes the loan up at the top. It provides a financial overview of what's happening. It gives a consistent set of grading factors that you can compare across loans. And it gives you a couple of reports, a couple of pieces of data, because some people actually like real estate investing. You don't have to invest on Groundfloor, because you don't have to spend as much time with it as you might think you would for an investment like this. There's a photo, and then there's a lot of detail that the SEC wants us to be sure to tell you about each project. And then there's a little bit of information about the borrower down at the bottom. Now, what's unique about this is that this is all very highly regimented and controlled in a way that you can figure out where you want to diversify and where you want to put your money very, very quickly. The information economics have to work at even a $10 level, because our average investment in a loan is about $500. So if you're investing $500, you're not going to spend a lot of time to dig into the details. You're going to spend your time thinking about the algorithm. We just invested $100 in this loan that pays 13.4% over 12 months, and the leverage on the loan is about 65%, which is something people care about. And there we go. I used my investor account balance to invest in that. I have about $3,600 in there today. We have people with as little as 100 invested, and we have people with 100,000 invested, in everything in between. And that's part of the point. The product has been really, really successful. I'll give a couple more statistics in a minute. What you're looking at here is a snapshot that I took of my investor dashboard after I made this investment that shows how I have diversified my portfolio. I really like it that one of the things you're going to see coming out are these funds, these REITs. And REITs have always been available, but there's some new formats of REITs that are coming out that allow people to diversify. We have, with 2,000 investors on the platform now, we have 2,000 REITs. We enable the individual investor to make his own REIT, to make his own decision efficiently and in a way that if you want to roll the dice and take more risk on an E loan or an F loan, you control that. You allocate your own capital. And I think that that's the radical idea that a lot of people like about crowdfunding. Now, where's my last? Oh, I see. I pressed the wrong button. So we're now up to 19,000 people who've signed up for Groundfloor, close to 12% of whom have actually invested in a loan so far, and the others I'm sure are going to very soon. That's in the states where we're qualified by the SEC. We've funded now 138 loans, which we're starting to get pretty good at it. We've repaid 45, and hopefully have, about 100 more to repay. We've always returned 100% of the principal and all of the interest due. We've never had a shortfall or default, at least to date. It will happen, but it hasn't yet. And we sold about $14 million of the product to date. And that is Groundfloor. Thank you.